Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Thursday the 12th of January. We are doing Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
That's right. 1984 was the year, and it was before Studio Ghibli was around, but it is a Studio Ghibli film. Hayao Miyazaki. Hayao!
Yeah, and there's a lot of stress for us when we're doing Miyazaki films because we want to give it the justice that it deserves because all of Miyazaki films are just epic, and we're going to try.
Yeah, it's like when we talk about Kurosawa, it's like they're both brilliant filmmakers, and us saying, "Hey, it's great, go watch it," is just not enough. So, but we never feel satisfied with how much we communicate that we really like these films. I don't like everything he's done, but Nausicaa is a good one.
Yes,
it's not one.
Wait, did you just say you don't like everything he's done?
I don't know. Maybe I do, but
you don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen Kiki's Delivery Service yet. Which we should watch and do for this. And I haven't seen My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, so I
link.
can't say, but pretty much everything else I see, I like of his. So it is a film that I resisted a little bit just because the art style, whenever it's a girl in a blue dress, so like a jumpsuit dressy thing on a glider, and it was like okay, and it's kind of a little pastel-y, and it is the '80s, so that kind of speaks, and so I kind of resisted it. But a friend of mine watched it and said, "Hey, this is a really good film. You should check it out." No, it wasn't me. It was John, and so I checked it out.
John, who's John? You're cheating on me now.
You. So he was
why would you
very
want to
right.
cheat on me?
It was very, very good.
The bestest friend
film.
ever.
And so Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. It's basically a story about nature versus populace. Post-apocalyptic kind of the world is whatever the vegetation or whatever's been poisoned by the air and
right. Do you want to give that away right away?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Essentially, man has destroyed the environment through war, and so the major forest that they talk about, and I forget the name of the forest, but it's full of toxic plants and giant insects and everything, and it's just horrible. So there is what is it called? The Tolmekian army, whose plans is to destroy the forest to evade...
And the Ohms. What's the long name? Ohms?
They're just Ohms.
Well, there's a long name.
Omus.
But yeah, those are the giant insects.
Giant insects, they're the most intelligent insect in the forest, and they...
Pill bugs with a bunch of eyes. That's what they look like.
Yeah, they do look like pill bugs, you're right. They more or less have a representation of the purity of humanity. Like the worse off we get, the angrier they get, and the more violent they become.
But the military sees them as a threat, and that's really how Nausicaa starts off. She lives in a valley that are kind of in between these two worlds,
right? And
just on the edges of the forests that are contaminated, and so she wants to help these creatures, and ends up basically doing that. But
right.
They're intelligent, which the other side doesn't know or doesn't admit to,
or they don't care to.
And a lot happens. It's definitely a kind of an eco story. I mean, it does revolve around that, but it's also the courage of this little girl, and iconically she has. We were talking about the face mask. She's got this weird face. It's very
flappy,
very Miyazaki. Yeah, I got some weird flap to it. It looks like the pig. Which one's the pig? The movie with the pig.
Oh, Porco.
Porco Rosso.
Yeah, Porco Rosso, yep.
Yeah, it just reminds me of that for some reason. I guess maybe it's his pig ears or something. I don't know. But, he's got a very nice style that shows up in all these films.
Yes, and everything... I don't want to under-justify Miyazaki, but his art is just great for the stories that he tells. I mean... They're whimsical at times. They're
grounded at others.
Yeah, he mixes in the deep blues and the bright oranges. It totally works.
And he's not afraid to go into the fantasy. That's for sure. I'm sure that he pulls a lot from Japanese folklore and the like. But yeah, they're whimsical, and he has this really great way of having like precious moments and sweet moments, in this, the soup that he makes that is easily eaten and digested by us men. Even,
Yes.
it's weird because it's like it's about a little girl, and the little girl has courage, and she fights the whatever. But it's like we care. It's great. I have no problem with it. It's great. I don't know. It's hard to put it into words.
The greatness that is Miyazaki.
Yeah, his mastery. So, so anyway, this is another one that we appreciate. You want to tell us any more about the story, or should we just leave it for them?
Yeah.
I mean, they discover there's kind of the sense that all is lost, kind of thing, and the vegetation is poisoned, and
and you
everything's
should just destroy
toxic.
it off.
But hope comes up,
Yeah, Miyazaki makes no illusions. He's definitely an environmentalist. We've talked about Ponyo and Miyazaki's feeling as far as the pollution of the ocean and all that other jazz, with the
though he
his father.
he does make parts of the ocean rather ruthless, which is interesting.
Well,
but that's another topic.
With nature, I believe that Miyazaki, and I'm hoping because this is how I feel, that while it is ruthless, it should still be respected and honored.
Yeah, I think he actually, he does the same thing with spirituality, I think.
Yes.
So it's kind of like being a human, just, it's like the least of what he's interested in, or it's the least important, or it's the most damaging, or I don't know. But, he definitely puts stress on nature and spirituality, so...
Right.
I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to say. What do you think he's trying to say?
I think he's trying to say that if we don't stop being ruthless as a species, we could destroy the planet that we love.
I don't know.
Okay, you're right. That was probably a cliche sentiment, but
yeah.
Well, in the 80s, there was a lot of talk about, being green. It was before, electric cars and stuff like that. So,
well, yeah, it was before we have recycling bins out with the trash.
Right. So I think there was a huge movement for, save the whales, protect the oceans, don't cut down the forests and all that jazz. Save the rainforests, power of the people.
Yeah, well, that's smart. I happen to believe that there is something in the rainforest for everything. That's where all our medicinal stuff comes from. And even though it's been screwed with by man, and I think it's to the detriment, I think that there is something in nature that cures almost everything, that takes care of almost everything. I mean, all these painkillers and stuff are just like, a little bit of a plant or bark or something. And then there's, I don't know, whatever.
Or a mold or something.
I just think that nature is our best doctor there is.
The way I see it, as far as nature goes, is everything is going to find its balance, and if something gets tipped, it's just going to pull it back. That's it.
Fair enough.
That's how I see it.
All right, so it's not too terribly long or anything. I think it's a good 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a great 2 hours. It's very engaging. You'll get taken away by the visuals, the stampeding ohms, the giant pillbug insects.
Yeah, there's some visceral stuff in there.
Oh,
it looks very pastel-y on the surface. But
do you want to talk about the war giants and their symbolism?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, getting back onto the plot line. The Talmekians have a giant embryo, and I'm not saying it's a giant embryo, but it's an embryo of a giant war machine. Essentially, it's like grown, and an army of these were used to, well, in conjunction with attacking each other, they were also the cause of the defilement of the forests and the destruction of the nature around them. So the Talmekians are trying to regrow this so that it can destroy the tainted forest and regain the lands that they need to survive.
Okay.
And Nausicaa knows that this is a bad idea, and I don't want to give away too much as far as what happens, but suffice to say, the giant attacks.
Okay. Yeah, and she's a courageous little girl. She kind of goes on it, on her own to do all this. So,
have you noticed that Miyazaki loves the flying machines?
He also loves the little girls.
You're right.
That sounded bad.
He loves the little girls as the protagonists of the main story. Yeah. But I was gonna get into like she's got that flying flying bike thingy, and then you have Howl's Moving Castle. They have the flying thing. Kiki's Delivery Service. She likes to ride the broom.
But then you have Princess Mononoke, which doesn't fit.
She does ride a wolf.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. Hopefully, we tried a little bit.
Hopefully, we chipped off a giant iceberg that is the greatness of Miyazaki.
Miyazaki and Kurosawa both. I
Yes.
kind of lump them together personally.
I think they're separate, but yes.
Kurosawa does, real life movies, and Miyazaki does the animation by and large. I don't know, maybe he's done some live action. I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of.
But they both are great auteurs in their story,
Yes.
and they're both the kind that if you watch anything they make, I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh, here's a fun question. Would you consider yourself more on the side of Kurosawa or on Miyazaki?
Kurosawa.
Yeah, see, I'm more of a Miyazaki. I would totally watch Miyazaki over Kurosawa.
Okay.
That's fun to know.
Yeah.
Yet another way that we differ.
Another difference. But, we both appreciate each
Try and
other's.
fit that into the song.
I'm not going to.
He likes Pepsi, I like Coke. He
I
likes
like Kurosawa.
He likes Miyazaki.
Hi-yo, Miyazaki. And I like dogs.
I do too.
No, he likes cats.
I like cats, but I also like dogs.
I like cats too, but I like dogs. We have to be different. Differenter. I like Mac and he likes not Mac. I am smart and he is... Okay. Yay! He was distracted and I got my shot.
So, friends us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're going to Emerald City Comic Con, let me know. I'm gearing up for it. I gotta know. Well, I don't have to know, but I'd like to know who's going.
I will if I do not know. And comments, please.
Yes, please, comments. If you want us to review something, let us know. As a matter of fact, at some point in time, we're going to be doing The Man from Nowhere, which was asked us
we'll
us
be doing
by...
that
Yes,
next
week. Hi. Are we doing it next week or tomorrow?
Up next, a great movie, SLC Punk.
I didn't like her outfit. It was very plain.
Jumpsuit.
It was like a blue dress, wasn't it?
Well, it's a jumpsuit with a dress over it.
This isn't a preview.
Apparently, it's a Japanese trailer. Can you tell this was 1980s? Play your mad air flute skills.
That's an odd flute.
Play your mad air flute skills.
I like that high note you threw. That's an odd flute.
Alright, this is a waste of time.
Yes, it is.
Oh boy, gotta remember the names. Oh, the names. Why do people have names? Why can't they just be the girl and the guy?
Well, they tried that for eons.
Is
Yeah, it didn't work.
that a joke? Because I don't get it.
One of the lethal creatures used in ancient war. The dying Nestel tells Nausicaa to destroy the embryo. The Pajit discover the embryo, but the more powerful Tolmekians stole it and took Lestel as hostage. Kushana explains that the giant warrior will burn the toxic jungle, even though legends warn against this. Kushana attempts to return to Pajit along with Nausicaa and several new hostages, even in the valley. Since she has to depart, however, she shuts off the water which was keeping the plants alive. Several Tolmekian airships are attacked and destroyed by Pajit. The downed Pajit gunship is still alive. With the help of her glider, Nausicaa rescues the pilot, Asbel, of Pajit, the twin brother of Lestel. However, Nausicaa and Asbel are underground. Nausicaa and Asbel return to Pajit, destroyed after insects are lured from the Sea of Decay and to attack the occupying Tolmekians. The Pajit survivors recapture the giant warrior. The Pajit try to... Okay, I'm done. I can't. Yeah, I'm like... You were recording all of that?
No, not all of it. Some of it.
Oh, man. That hurt my throat.